Alright, so what more survivor side than killer is because during the anniversary, the 10th anniversary, the live event, when even if you were there or you weren't there and it was live streaming on Twitch and YouTube, they asked a portion of who were survivor means and who were killer means. And when that question was asked, basically it was a ratio 4-1. The highest number was all survivor means that only play survivor. That's 4. And then for killers, it was 1, which is really bad because for that, it should at least hopefully be either one side 3-2, or it should be balanced, or it should be close. Because the problem about it is, if they look at which side is more played, it seems they'll put more effort to the side that's being played. So survivors are being played more. So the problem is it's also affecting the killers. It should be the opposite. So you see the killers is 1, basically a ratio of 1. And the survivors are a ratio of 4. So you should be like, alright, I gotta go to the side with the ratio of 1, which is the killers. How can we increase the ratio to match the 1 to a 4 or to at least a 3? So it'd be a little close to have more people playing. And this would be an interesting idea, but it probably won't happen. So basically, change how the hooks work. So basically, you'll still have a hook system, but you won't too. So for example, you could combine this idea with Death Garden and kind of the mechanics in this game right now. So Death Garden was basically a second game Dead by Daylight has made, but it closed down on it. So basically, when you had the option to recycle a survivor, and it would make them lose all their stuff, or you would execute them. I'm not saying to put it in that way. So basically, take the way where you don't have to pick them up and automatically walk to a hook. You would automatically do a different way to put them on a hook by just picking them up. So how this would work is they take the design of the end game, which is the little things that come out at the end game and just instantly kill you. But they don't kill you in the other parts of the game. Basically, instead of hooks, your character will down the survivor, and he picks them up, and throws them onto the entity will come out of the ground, so they don't have to travel anywhere, and throw them on there. Think about like the Pyramid's Head cage thing. You throw it on there, they'll sink in the ground. Killer won't know where you spawn. You'll spawn in a random location hooked. And then once you get saved, obviously the killer will get a notification you've been saved. But until then, he won't know where you are, so you could easily get saved and all that. What they should do, and then people will say, oh, I can't get flashlight saves. Here's what they could do. So basically, when they're picking the person up, they can still move their heads around so dodge the flashlights, obviously. But if they don't dodge it right, you can still blind them when they're in the pickup animation. But once they pick up the survivor, you can't flashlight them. Once they get in the animation of throwing the survivor onto the entity's, I guess, claws or anything on the ground, you could blind him still, but you won't save him because he'll go onto the hook, and then he'll get dragged into the ground. But if you, in mid-animation, mid-pickup, like right now, how it's in-game, if you blind him, you'll save him. Like they did in 2v8, before he picks him up and hooks him on the hook and disappears. Before he finishes the pickup and puts him on the hook so he disappears, you can still flashlight save. So take basically 2v8, how they hook the survivors, basically pick them up, and then before the animation finishes, you can blind them still, but you have to be really precise on your flashlights because this animation is quicker. And then you throw the person on the hook and you'll spawn randomly somewhere. Again, the killer won't know where you spawn, and then he'll get a notification once you're saved, but until then, I think taking the mechanic from 2v8 and Death Garden would be better, because basically, gens could get done in 30 seconds and all that, and killers don't have much time to set up or put pressure, like the trapper and all that. So basically with this hook system, it will help out them for, instead of walking all over the map and I'm wasting time, they could put a little more pressure. So the thing they have to do though is, because they're doing that, they would have to nerf or rework the Blight and Nurse a little bit. And then that system should be tested out first, and then if it works, I think that should be the new hooking system. What else they should do is we need some new items, because anything really new could be cool. The fog grenade thing, smoke, whatever, you throw it on the ground, it's not really effective anyway. We need some other items that would be cool. Maybe a hammer to, like, you can only use the hammer twice, and basically it'll rebuild the pellet. Or it would actually, no, what the hammer does, it could so we can rebuild pallets, but we can't rebuild breakable walls. So you can rebuild breakable walls. That would be a cool item. And so moving on to another two things they should add to Dead by Daylight. These are just fun ones. They're not major changes. One, they should take the Trix NPC, her voice lines, her animations, and put it into a legendary skin for Sable, because that would work really good as a legendary skin for her. And basically, the cool special thing is you would get all the main menu voice lines, you would get all the lobby ones, all the in-game ones. And for the animation, when you start the trial, this is before the killer could start moving around or look around. Same for survivors, where you get the 3-second or whatever time when the camera spins around your character will start in the air, and then once the match starts, so the killer can't see you, you'll float down. So that'd be a cool little animation for that legendary skin. So you should definitely put Trix as a legendary saber skin. That's just something that'd be cool to have. Another thing would be cool is we have that blood point market, which would be like how they had in the mobile, which you could buy offerings or craft. A crafting system would be cool too, where you could craft a certain amount of items a day. It has to be like, you could craft like 4 green med kits, 10 yellow, 1 purple a day or something. You could craft them, you could recycle them and make items. You have to balance that out too. Another thing that is not a major like fix to the game yet is it's like another kind of cosmetic thing, is the mobile, and I'm not talking about just the cosmetics. The cosmetics from mobile, I wish they somehow could transport to the core game. I don't think they can. Maybe they can. I don't know. What they should do is, we need those Moris from the mobile, because those Moris are way more brutal than the ones we have in the core game, and I think they would be so cool if we could have them in there. And if you have to put them in the game a certain way, like we have to buy them, just put them in the rift. So put them in the primary rift. So give us some extra rewards, like to earn when we go. So like how we have exclusive deep rifts recolors. So the recolors will still stay exclusive, and then the standard skins that come back every month, the Moris are the same thing. They'll come back after, but you should put them in the rift so everyone could get different Moris. That would be cool cosmetic to add in there. But keep the deep rifts exclusives, which you already do. But the Moris don't be exclusive. They'll come back like the standard ones. Moving on to now, my concern with the new graphics update with the weather and all that. I don't think many computers will not have an issue. My worry is the Switch, the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One. Not the newest Xbox One, but the Xbox One. I think the old consoles are going to struggle with it, so it might have to push people either on to people to go to PC or to the next gen. I don't think it's going to go well for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the Switch, just because of their hardware. But unless they figure out a way to do it so they could still be able to play on PlayStation 4 and the Xbox and the Switch, but they probably will, hopefully. But if not, they're probably going to move up. That's the only thing I worry about. But overall, that's it. The graphics look amazing and all that. I can't wait to see them. Okay. Now, if we go into the health of the game, I want to talk about the health of the game really quick before I talk about the event that we're in right now. And then I also want to include blood points. Those will be the next two things we talk about. But going back to the health of the game. Right now, because we have many bugs in the game, many bugs still in the game, and they keep releasing new content, which just keeps adding to the bugs, and then they're not really fixing old bugs and all that. I mean, they are fixing, but not as fast. I think they're going to have to do a thing that Rainbow Six Siege did, which would be 2 months with no content. You could still have the new riff. The new riff with cosmetics. That's really that one. That one wouldn't be bad. So you just have the new cosmetics come out with the riff, and then for other content, I would wait and push it back. And for the 2 months, I would work on bugs, getting rid of bugs, game health, upgrade your easy anti-cheat, and update all your health stuff and all that for the games for the next 2 months. Yes, we want to have content, but the game just needs 2 months or 1 month of health reboot. Next thing, we will jump into... I'm going to save the blood points for last. So we're going to go into the event this one. This one was a major, I don't care what people say on this one. Because a lot of people are saying it was a good event. Now, there was some good things to this event, but mainly it was a lot of bad things. The theme of it, I kind of like the theme. I didn't like the mask you got. I like the charms. I like the theme of the whole Faintwood thing. Now, where comes the issue was the gameplay. The poison was the only thing killers got, which was kind of boring. I mean, you could have gave us the remote hooks that we had from the last event, breakable pallets automatically, and the poison, so we at least had 3 things. The poison was okay. It was kind of boring, but the reason it was okay was because it's basically the clown where it slows the survivor down until you hit them. The issue was the poison didn't work all the time, and sometimes when you threw it, it just disappeared. It didn't miss the survivor. Like, there was a certain it was the saloon one for the Death Slinger killer, the map. You threw your poison, and it went through the wall, missing the survivor because for some reason phased through the wall for some reason. The survivor side was kind of fun, but again, it was not fun for the killers because the issues with the survivor side was you could heal every time you activated the dinner. The problem about it was basically removes all the pressure the killer has done, which is a bad thing because basically if you got all the survivors hurt, it would automatically heal them once they got the 4 plates, and people purposely waited for the plates to keep healing, and it was a bad heal. Then they could go invisible, which was a pain because you could eventually track them down, but it's really hard to track down. The issue was there was another one where it makes more portals and more pallets. Those weren't good ones. Another issue one that was, I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to bring it, was the one that was like Dead Hard, where you activate and you would be invincible for a little bit, which was so annoying. So overall, I would have to give the event really I would give it a 6 out of 10. Like, I liked some of it, but it just wasn't as strong. The event wasn't that strong. And the issue was, it was also, when they made the cake super rare, it kind of dips up into the blood web, which messed it up and all that, and we had an issue with the blood web. Now we go into the final thing. Blood points. This is a major issue because we need a way, because they've been, over the years, they've been reducing blood points. Yes, you kind of earn a decent amount when you play the match, but they've been reducing them on perks like barbecue chili, we're gonna live forever. Those, we're gonna, Left Behind, that's what it was, Left Behind. They had 100% blood points, and then they just took them away. We honestly need blood points, because the problem is we need a way to get so much blood points. I know that seems like, why do we need so much blood points? The reason we need so much blood points is because, like, for example, you need to get Prestige 3 for all your characters if you want all the teachables to be on level 3 for your survivors. And then the major issue is, here's the major issue, why they need to give like 3 times or 2 times blood points, like not even a limited time, just permanently. Because my issue that I'm having, I don't really have, because I got most of them. I have everyone pretty much not on past Prestige 3. So basically, we have all these survivors and all these killers, and you need a lot of blood points to get these perks. And the problem is, they reduced so many blood points from events now, so they reduced the blood points from events. They're taking blood point bonuses off perks and all that. If the more you reduce it, I know you want to make people play more and grind, but people are going to start walking away because they need the blood points. They need the blood points, so we need a lot of blood points. So I'm thinking like 2 times or 3 times permanently would be good, because the only reason I'm saying that is because we're up to like 37 or 47 characters in the game, and we're just going to keep getting characters, and there's no way new players are going to keep up with getting perks to level 3, or just getting perks, because they're going to have to keep grinding a lot of blood points. So, I don't know, they have to redo the blood points. Overall, I'm looking forward for the future of Dead by Daylight. I hope there are some changes to a lot of things, but I'm excited for the summer event. Hopefully it's going to be a little better than this one. I'm excited for the summer event. I'm excited for some of the game modes that are returning. Like we had 2v8. I don't remember which one. There's a new one returning that we had before, but it finally returns. I'm going to look for that summer event. Hope it's better than this one. I'm excited for the graphics update. I'm excited for the Scooby-Doo collab. I can't wait to see the next riff, because I love doing the riffs. I love getting the exclusive deep riff ones. I like how the ones that are not deep riff come back, so every player could at least get the standard ones, but not the deep riff ones. This game has a lot of potential. It's just, I think the time needs to look. They need to work more for the killers than the survivors, in my opinion, because right now survivors have so much stuff. Killers need some improvements too. Like I said, I'm excited for the future because I saw there was a map in the mall, which is exciting too. A buff that I would like to see for Trapper though is have him start with all his traps, because it would be nice to have him start with all his traps. So I can't wait to see how this game goes into the next year. I'm kind of excited for the new graphics, and hopefully some changes that will hopefully help the killers, and maybe some more for the survivors, but mostly for the killers, because killers are supposed to be a little more scary than survivors. Not too overpowered, but more overpowered than survivors. So we'll see how they come out, and have a happy anniversary, happy 10th anniversary of Dead by Daylight, and hope for the best. Let's make the next year good. Once we fix some things up. Until next time, peace out.